Hey everyone, it's LS, and this is the patch 14.10 notes rundown. This is finally the savior patch of League, and again, I don't know what to expect for Split 3, because apparently Season 15 is forever supposed to change League of Legends. And I don't know exactly what that means. There was the rioter that made that tweet once upon a time. And so, not once upon a time, it actually wasn't too long ago, it was this year. So we're just gonna jump straight in to this patch, and honestly, it's all about items, ladies and gents, and children of all ages. So that's pretty much it. Cassante is buffed, in case you did need to know. Yes, he is. Player profile update. We're moving player profiles inside of the social panel in order to consolidate client navigation. We need more space. You can still customize your identity by going into your profile and clicking on the banner there. Very nice. Legend of Runeterra comes to League. You can now easily access the award-winning card game Legend of Runeterra right from the League client. You'll find the button right next to TFT in the main navigation of the client, which will redirect you to play install LOR into your Riot client. Legend of Runeterra is also available on mobile for Android and iOS users. Nice. Champion Mastery update. Okay. The new and evolved Champion Mastery system is coming to League and this patch. Champions are the core of League, and everyone has their favorites, and Champion Mastery helps reflect that. Okay. Unlockable champion titles for level 10 mastery, that's really cool. Per split mastery champion sets and rewards, really cool. Uncapped champion mastery levels, cool. Level per split mastery progression, really cool. I like the idea. I would also really like the idea if, like, Riot's going to have skins that are attributed to mastery level of that champion. Like, Mastery Thresh, Mastery Orianna, Mastery Lee Sin, right? They could actually just call it the Master Set. They could make a unique skin for each. Well, no, they probably wouldn't. That's a lot of money. Never mind. All right, ranked. Soon after 14.10 release, Split 2 of Season 2024 will start May 15th at noon local time to your server. Similar to previous seasons with the Split transition, the account transfer service will be disabled before the Split ends and turned back on after awards are granted. Ranked queue will be disabled for short hours before the season starts and be back as patch deploy is done. Okay. All right, so that's ranked queues will be disabled for short hours before the season starts. Okay, as the patch deploy. Okay, wait. Does that mean that ranked? Wait, I don't understand. Okay, I don't. Okay, players will be able to place as high as Diamond 3 after professional games, previously Emerald 1. Demotion protection between divisions, e.g. Silver 2 to Silver 3, will be removed. Players will be fluidly transitioned between divisions. Okay. Demoting from tiers will place players at 25, 50, 75 LP, depending on the player's MMR at the time of demotion. This is really good, but I think that it might make some people actually quit. And what I mean by that is, for all the MMR Andes that ended up, they won all of their games. They won all their games on red side. They lost all their games on red side. And they demote because they lost so much on blue and they didn't win a lot on blue. Then dropping to 25 is going to be really painful. But what this is going to do is, for all the people that were against dodging and they didn't dodge, like, ever to fix their LP gains, and they were crying on Twitter and they're like, Riot, why am I getting 14 LP per win and 21 per loss? And then they don't realize that if they just went and dodged 6-7 times in a row, that their MMR would actually fix in order to reflect the LP. Because Riot doesn't like talking about MMR, but it's there and it exists. And your LP is trying to always match what your MMR is. And when it doesn't match that, because either you went on, you know, kind of like a win streak and perhaps on red side, which grants less MMR, or you lost a lot of games on red side or something like that, which causes you to lose more MMR, then, you know, you're gonna have some problems. So yeah, that is a thing. Okay, so Master Duo will be enabled in most regions and will stop again at Grandmaster, excluding China and Korea. Master Duo and okay, so wait, they're not excluding China and Korea. I don't know why China and Korea is being left out. That seems really weird. I wonder if this means that they're experimenting with it in other regions, and then they're going to determine what is happening. I don't really know. Okay. Split Star Apex Duo MMR restriction, disable a reminder. Now, I do feel a little bit bad because there are some boot campers here that I think were intending to duo, right? And if you guys saw some of the content creators' tweets, specifically in the US, some of them were like, tweeting out like, who am I going to duo with as soon as the season starts, and like they were going to do all of this stuff. So that is a little bit sad for people that like travel to these countries and, whatnot. So there are like 30 boot campers here, unironically, will hurt them a little bit. Okay. Split Star, Apex 2 MMR restriction, disable reminder. Similar to the previous splits in years, for the first 2 weeks of new rank split 1410 patch cycle, Apex 2 MMR restriction will be temporarily disabled, but the visual earned rank duo restriction remains. Okay. Following the updated duo rule listed above, the Apex 2 MMR restriction will be turned back on in 1411. Okay. Split 1 2024 season reward grant will happen shortly after the new split starts and should be fully complete in 1411. Okay. System changes. Okay. We're modifying golden experience income with the hope of closing some durability disparities across the several roles. Bot laners and junglers tend to be 1 to 2 levels behind solo laners in the mid game before catching up late game due to champion kill experience. We're bringing up their mid game levels by tweaking duo XP and early monster EXP. Then, to keep them from shooting ahead of solo laners, as junglers and bot laners participate in more late game kills later than other roles, we're bringing down late game assisted kill XP. Okay. So duo experience is going to go up to 124%. Jungle monster experience is going to be 100 to 145%, levels 1 through 9, to 100 to 150%, levels 1 to 8. Okay. Scuttle Crab experience 100 to 440, plus 10% per level, to 100 to 150%, 1 to 8. Okay. Shared champion kill XP 66%, 66.6%, 1 to 6, to 82%, 7 to 8, 100%, 9 plus, to 66.6%, 1 to 6, 82%, 7 plus, 90%, 9 plus. Interesting. Gold. Plus 2 kill streak gold, 450, 600, 700, 800, 1,000, to 400 to 1,000 scaling. CS bounty. Okay. All right. So Corki, so all in all, this is quite nice. Helps out junglers actually quite a lot. Yeah. I mean, there's really no complaints that you can have there. And now it's also not as punishing to start feeding. All right. Champions. Corki. The package has been removed. Corki's passive now deals bonus true damage, and most of his abilities have been buffed and converted to the physical damage. So the base stats. Corki is getting 30 additional HP. Health growth is going to be up by down by 3 as well. Okay, so eventually it'll mean that Corki has less late game HP. Okay, base armor, however, is going to go up by 2. Armor growth is going to go down by 0.2. All right, not the end of the world. Base attack 61 to 55, and now attack speed 0.638 to 0.644. Mono generation growth, however, is up. Acquisition range 500 to 550. This is the range at which Corki acquires targets when attack moving past them. Okay. Retimed Corki's basic attack timer to launch the attack at a more appropriate frame of his attack animation. Basic attacks come out slightly more slowly. Okay. Passive Hextech Munitions. Damage 20% physical, 80% magic, to 100% physical, and 15% true. 15% true on top. This is obviously massive. There's no way around it. It's just a really, really, really good change. This also means that we get access to another AD mid laner, because absolutely is Corki going to be a mid laner still, and he's going to be able to be in the mid lane. Prosperous Bomb, 75 to 255, 70% bonus AD, 50% AP, to 70 to 230. So the base is down on it. However, the bonus AD is massively up by 50%. AP is also up by 20%. Cooldown 8 to 9 to 7. So the cooldown is going to be rewarded as you put more points into it. The mana 60 to 100 to 60 to 80. So it's also less mana intensive. The missile speed is going up by 100. Retime the animation to fire at a more appropriate point in the animation. 0.25 second cast time unchanged. W Valkyrie, mana is going to go from 80 to 80 to 100. Now more consistently deals damage at all its ticks. This is usually 10% more damage if your target was in the zone the whole time. Damage over time now lingers for 1 second after leaving the zone, can no longer deal more than the maximum damage if the target runs alongside. Okay. E Gatling Gun, 50% magic and physical to 100% physical. Very nice. 120 to 320 plus 250% bonus AD to 100 to 300 plus 200% bonus AD. So the damage on it seems down, but because the damage type is now more in line, that's very nice. Armor and MR Shred, however, is going to go up. And so I assume that because the armor shred is now going up, you're doing more total damage. Time to reach max shred, 8 hits, 2 seconds. 2 4 hits, 1 second. Really good. Mana is going to go from 50 to 70. Very nice. And now Missile Barrage AP ratio is removed. AD ratio down by 5%. However, the base damage is massively up. Corki is going to be crazy this patch. This is not right. Corki is going to be absolutely nuts on this patch. This is legitimately crazy. This is like Skarner. Like I mean, I didn't play PvE, but this is like this is Skarner levels of problematic. Okay, Cho'Gath. E damage cap against monsters raised up to a flat value. Damage cap against minions is removed. Damage cap against monsters 80 to just 200. Wow, that is going to be really big. What the heck? Damage cap against minions 80 to 160 is just removed. Wow, they're really upping Cho's clear speed. So this is really good. Yeah, Cho clearing super minions in general. I mean, this is totally fine. Now, can Cho'Gath actually go into the jungle? No, I don't really think so. I think that the jungle has always been his worst flex role. K'Sante, everyone's favorite champion. If you guys have been watching MSI, you know how weak K'Sante has actually been in a lot of the games. It was actually just yesterday that I ended up tweeting an image of K'Sante failing to kill a target. And that's when I knew that Riot Games was probably watching that game, and they knew also that K'Sante needed some buffs. Because Riot Games has also been paying attention to MSI as well as all the pro player tweets and stuff surrounding K'Sante as a champion. I think that they heard our cry loud and clear, and they knew K'Sante needed some love. Base stats, health regeneration 0.85 to 1, health growth 115 to 120. Excellent, guys. Absolutely magnificent. E, footwork, base shield 50 to 210 to 10% bonus health to 50 to 250 plus 10% bonus health. Kind of honestly fake changes, all in all. It's going to make him a little bit more durable. He's still going to do the same. Well, actually, I mean, these things are more of a problem actually in competitive than this is. These are competitive buffs, honestly, because solo queue players can't utilize these types of changes that well anyway. These are things that like really reward you playing on the line of your character. And so I would actually say it's a high MMR buff, which is funny. Sett deals bonus damage to monsters. Now is a 100 flat damage mod to monsters. That's great. They're trying to make Sett jungle actually maybe come back the way that like Volibear was once upon a time, but I just don't think that Sett should actually end up there. He's a champion that, while he does come with some inherent utility, suffers from the same exact problems that Volibear does, and that Volibear, if he's not actually snowballing in a head, he's just a potato, and he can't really do anything. All right, Skarner. So this one's going to be really sad to see. Obviously, played a lot of Skarner in the last couple of weeks. Had almost a 70% win rate on the Master Climb with him. Champion, absolutely ungodly. So let's take a look at what they did to our favorite Scorpion. All right. We're making some small updates to Skarner now that he's been out of the wild for a bit. First, we're changing up the part of his ultimate's cast paradigm. We're letting displacement effects affect Skarner while winding up Impale, which will do a couple of things. The most fun one is to let him cast it reactively to an incoming Blitzcrank hook, delivering even more suppressions per cast. This also leaves some room for opponent counterplay, as astute players can preemptively throw out spells like explosive casts and push Skarner away before he can snag his prey. Because of this change will make him less consistent, we're also hastening the cast time, giving him a better shot at landing it without setup CC. Very nice. All right, let's take a look actually. So Shattered Earth Upheaval. So the damage is going to go from 10 to 50 plus 60% bonus AD, 5% bonus HP to 10 to 50. Okay. To 4% bonus HP. So 1% bonus HP. So how much bonus HP is Skarner actually getting? So this means that each Q is going to lose 9 damage on the first completion of Heartsteel. So after Heartsteel, then he'll end up getting Sterix and stuff. I think it's going to end up amounting to Skarner eventually losing probably about 40 damage per Q auto, which is actually quite a big deal. Mana cost, however, is going to go down to a flat 30, so they're going to reward the bad Skarners that couldn't manage his mana anyway. Damage to structures, however, going up by 50%, so now you'll be a little bit more rewarded for ganking a lane and then assisting with shredding the turret. Max percent HP cap, 150 to 450 to 150 to 350. So the real thing here is that Skarner, I mean, his initial clear speed, I guess rank 2, yeah, I guess rank 2 is now going to actually get hit quite a lot. This is 75 damage missing. This is going to slow down his clear a little bit, but he's still going to be good in that regard. I mean, it's fine. E Ixtal's impact damage, 30 to 150 plus 10% Skarner max HP, to 30 to 150 plus 8% Scar. Oh. So this can easily end up getting up to about 100 damage missing. So you combine this with about 120 missing here. This means that Skarner has 220 damage missing out of his combo. That is a very big amount of HP to just be missing out of the combo. Wow. Our Impale 0.75 to 0.65. Skarner is no longer unstoppable while winding up Impale. Wow. They removed that. Skarner can now Q his other skills while winding up Impale. QE still cannot be cast while impaling an enemy champion. He can queue up? Okay. Fix a bug where Mark Dash could not... Wow. All right. These are massive Skarner nerfs, but Riot didn't want to put it that way. They wanted to call it an adjustment so that we didn't overreact too much. Massive, massive Skarner nerfs. Tryndamere, passive critical strike chance cap is increased. Fury bonus critical strike chance, 0 to 40% to 0 to... Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine. Now, Tryndamere suffers from a lot of indirect nerfs, whether it have been from itemization problems or just like other champions that were really good against him actually got a lot better inside of the game. So this is a very nice change, as well as the items that we're going to get into in a bit. Viego. Q healing from minions is increased. Q, Blade of the Ruined King, 10 to 50%. Mark healing versus minions. Very nice. So, 40% Mark healing versus minions. I know Drew2 very enthusiastic about this. Definitely check out his stream in the next upcoming days, as he's certainly going to return to playing lane Viego. Do I think that lane Viego is a healthy thing for the game? I think it's actually pretty okay, but we're going to have to end up talking about some of the items that he's going to get, especially because he got crit modifiers over the last couple of years as Riot tried to redirect his playstyle. And so we're going to talk about the crit items and how that might affect him in just a bit. Yasuo, passive critical strike chance multiplier is decreased. Bonus AD for excess critical strike chance is increased. Passive, Way of the Wanderer. Critical strike chance multiplier, 2.5 to 2. Bonus AD for excess critical strike chance now is going to be 40 to 50%. So if you do end up going up on the critical strike chance, then, you know, you'll get a little bit more. That's fine. Yone, same exact thing. These are the Wind Brothers. Items, Corrupting Potion. I thought this item was removed from the game. Obviously, I just came off of a 9-month break from actually playing League of Legends. And I only saw this item built, I think, once during my, like, you know, 10-day, 2-week climb back up to Masters and whatnot video as elsewhere on my main YouTube channel, as you guys are watching this on the FlyQuest LOL YouTube channel. This item sucks. This item had so much potential. I'm actually sad that they just throw it away. Corrupting Potion has been somewhat forgotten for a while. That's because they didn't give it any love. We don't like when it's strong and dominates other early game item choices, so we decided to remove it from the game for now. I like the for now part, though. That means that they might revisit it. Enchanter items. Love it, love it, love it. Dawncore was initially conceived as an enchanter capstone that could finish their builds. Of course, that's really lofty for a class that doesn't earn a lot of gold. We still want Dawncore to be a big ticket item, but are reshaping it a little bit, giving it much more upfront power while still having a little bit of scaling that asks you to at least not buy it first. Okay. Build path now is going to go from 2 Bandleglass Mirror, worst item in the game. Actually, no, it's not the worst item in the game anymore. Hearthbound Axe, worst item in the game. To a Blasting Wand and 2 Forbidden Idols. Huge buff. Huge buff as you're curving into it. Massive buff. There's no way to understate how big of a buff that is for the enchanters as you're building into it. So, build path, massive buff. Heal and shield power comes now with a flat 16%. Ability power up front is going to give you 20 more. Base mana regeneration, however, is going to go down by 50. Now, before, it used to give you 5 AP. Okay, there it is. It gave you 5 AP per 100%. So, what that would end up doing is you lose a little bit of AP off of this. First Light. I just realized that it says First Light. I'm Last Shadow. You know what I mean? Like, this item was made for me. Like, this item completes me. This is the yin to my yang, you know? And, like, I'm not about to, like, you know, and, like, well, this is, like, First Light, which means that it probably represents, like, white or something. I'm not about to, you know, say that I identify as black. I mean, I think that'd be a little bit, you know, like, inside of the circle and stuff. But I definitely do think that it completes me. You know what I mean? All right, so 3% heal and shield power and 5 per AP per 100% base mana regeneration to 2% heal and shield power and 10 AP per 100% base mana regen. So you lose a little bit of heal and shield power, but I don't think that it matters because it comes with so much now up front that it's all going to be a total buff. Summoner spell haste, however, is removed. Ability haste removed is really painful. Wow. Okay. 1 second. So if you need to actually just steroid your shields, this item is still going to be good. However, with the removal of these two things, Guys, enchanters typically don't have really great AP ratios. They typically don't, okay? I actually expect now, from reading this and seeing these two things removed, that while this item is still going to be good, here's the problem. So, here's the problem, I think. This item is going to need to come down to 2,500 or something. I really think this item is going to need to be more affordable, because typically, this is a 4th item. It's a 3rd or 4th item on a lot of enchanters. So in Jungle Ivern, it's typically Dawncore or like Ardent Censer. If you guys watched the G2 series last night versus TES, G2 the GOATs, then Ardent Censer sometimes will end up overpowering this item. The other thing about the 16% too is like Mikhail's is looking real good when you actually just need like increased heal and shield power. But anyways, let's move on to another item. Echoes of Helia. Let's talk about useless things. Max stacks is going to go 3 to 2. Damage per stack is going to go up by 15. Heal per stack 40 to 75. Very nice. Doesn't matter. Item sucks. Shurelya's Battlesong. Let's talk about a good item potentially. So ability power going to go down by 5. Movement speed down by 3. So Shurelya's is just getting outright nerfed. You lose 3% MS. So if you don't know what 3% MS is, that's basically like the additional bonus that Magical Boots gives to you. So on most champions, this is going to be anywhere from like 10.2 to 10.2 to 9.6, right? Or like 9.7. So that's basically what you're losing now from the move speed. Tank items. Taking a small pass over tank items, both the high income and low income varieties. Our first goal is to slightly raise the amount of ability haste in the tank item system. Okay, Anathema's chain is removed from the game. Sad, we will miss you. Warmog's armor. Health is going to go up by 250. Health per 5 seconds, 200 to 100%. So this is an interesting thing because remember, Skarner just got nerfed. However, Skarner just got an additional 250 HP on an item that he can build for the same exact gold cost. So we might actually start looking at doing some really weird, wonky things where also because Skarner's mana HP or mana costs are now significantly down, he might not need to recall as much. And as long as he's not permanently missing HP because you can use the Warmog's passive and stuff, there might be a world where you do something like going Heartsteel into Warmogs and whatnot and just utilizing stuff like this. Now with the additional 250 HP and stuff on it, the item actually does become a little bit more interesting. It making me start to think, I wonder if there's a world where 80 carries actually build Warmogs again, or, you know, something of that nature, just to have a giant steroided HP thing. And that was something that they actually did once upon a time. Fimble Winter. Health's going to go up by 150. Awe is going to be changed. So they gutted these items. That's all that we're going to say about it. Talked about it before. They gutted the items. Bami Cinder. Ruby Crystal 2 times to Ruby Crystal plus Glowing Moat. Really nice build path change. Absolutely love it. Price now, however, but what I will say, though, is that this will skew some of the recalls and some of the junglers that do the double Ruby Crystal recall that couldn't have quite have afforded Bami Cinder. So, price going to go down by 900, health down by also 100, ability haste now 5. Nice little buff to Shen. That's all I gotta say. His health, so the health is gonna go down by 100. Doesn't matter. He gets 5 more little ability haste for himself. Also, another. Now this was another item that I potentially considered for Skarner, in order to make up for the loss of damage that he's now gonna have inside of the camps. But we're still gonna have to end up waiting and seeing. Hollow Radiance, health gonna go down by 150 in exchange for getting 10 ability haste. Worst item in the game. If I catch you building this item and you are a pro player, you will end up on my Twitter timeline. Sunfire Aegis is going to lose 150 HP. Ability haste, however, is going to go up by 10. Interestingly, this one is probably fine. Now, you might be saying, well, Last Shadow, you gay. How did you determine that Hollow Radiance losing 150 getting 10 ability haste is somehow worse than Sunfire Aegis? Well, because Sunfire Aegis actually is the buildable one. Sunfire Aegis is buildable because it's a little bit different than Hollow Radiance in terms of how its burn works, and that's ultimately it. Like, let's just be totally honest. Randuin's Omen. Health is going to be 50. Armor is going to go up by 20. That's totally fine. Humility cooldown is going to go from 60 to 90 seconds. This is totally fine. Do not overreact to this. Listen, team fights operate around a 90-second window. Whether it's solo queue or competitive, that is just almost a fact. Unless someone is like teleporting back into the battle or something like that, you rarely will ever see team fights actually happen within a 60-second window. It's typically always 90 seconds. And because of that, well, 90 to 120 seconds, depending on some variables. But usually that's what it is the majority of the time. Totally fine. Humility slow is going to go up by 15%. Totally nice buff for Randuin's Omen. Unending Despair, they're now giving the Anguish trigger rate its Ingenious Hunter stacks. And so they're making this item a lot better. So this is now going to be a much more, viable item to actually build against 80 heavy team comps. Abyssal Mask. The cost is going to go down by 100. Isn't this, what was this called? I forgot what this was actually called, back in the day. This had a name, and I actually forgot what it is, but maybe they're changing its image. Okay. But I don't think so. Anyways, gold going down by 100, magic resistance going down by 10. Unmake is going to be 8.6 to 25 magic resistance based on bonus HP to 20% of your total magic resistance. This is a beautiful item. The enemy team comp has a lot of MR, or AP damage, and you can build 2 MR items. This is now one of the MR items, and it's very cheap, and you're getting insane value from it. Really, really, really good. Now, it has a unique interaction with Void Staff and Crypt Bloom. Doesn't matter. Unmake magic resistance 9 per enemy to 10 per enemy. Totally fine as well. And this is all just really good. Really nice change for like Galio. Really nice change for a lot of tanks. Knight's Vow. Kindle Gem Chain Vest to Rejuvenation Bead. Okay, total gold unchanged. 100% base mono region is now added. Armor is going to be down by 5. This is something that I think a lot of people don't appreciate. One of the things that I started realizing when I was playing Skarner on my climb and whatnot was actually how much HP region can actually do. And one of the things that I was really surprised by when I was running some calculations is that Skarner was actually getting around 160, 170 HP per 30 seconds by purchasing Spirit Visage, right? Now, obviously, Spirit Visage has other amplifications, but HP region can't be understated, especially not when it's an item that you build a little bit later on inside of the game. So this is all really nice changes. Zeke's Convergence. Health is going to go from 200 to 300, armor 30 to 25. Now there's 25 magic resistance. Stability haste going to go down by 10. All in all, a buff to the item. They've also removed the mana from it. Totally fine. Sometimes there were champions that did want to buy it that didn't even actually contain mana. I think it's totally okay. And now, at least because it has magic resistance, I feel like the blue in the image makes a little bit more sense. Thank you. Mage items. Banshee's Veil. We're generally happy with Banshee's Veil, so Verdant Barrier component is updated without further adjustments. Build path, needlessly large rod, Verdant Barrier, 150 gold, and needlessly large rod, Verdant Barrier, 250 gold. Total gold cost is going to be unchanged. Okay. That is... Huh? Oh, Verdant Barrier got less expensive. Okay. All right. Blackfire Torch. The coming of Malzahar, Swain, and a bunch of other champions. We've identified a problem that the mage item system is lacking a strong mana option for sustained damage dealers. I just want to take a quick shout out to the riders who I do chat with on Discord pretty frequently. You guys know who you are. Always appreciate the conversations that we do have. This is obviously a conversation that I've been having on and off for, a couple of months now. Constantly, talking about how, the mage item rework actually hurt a lot of mages. And it was because an item like this was missing, so I'm really, really glad to see that an item like this is added back in. The introduction of Blackfire Torch and adjustments of Luden's Companion are both aiming to resolve the problem by offering a variety of mana item choices. Blackfire Torch is designed to appeal to battle mages and control mages, very good, that want to do sustained damage, excellent. While Luden's Companion can focus more on bursts and AoE damage dealers. In terms of roles, we position this item to be good for both mage junglers and laners as it fits both their needs. Excellent. Build path, Lost Chapter, Faded Ashes, 700 gold, 2,800 gold total cost. This item is so good. Guys, remember, in 7.5 hours, all right, the climb begins, all right? Malzahar gameplay resumes. Ability power, 90. Mana, 600. Haste is going to be 25. Baleful Blaze. Dealing damage abilities causes enemies to burn for 20 plus 2% AP magic damage per second for 3 seconds. So 6% total magic, or 6% total AP plus a flat 60. Very nice. Deals 20 bonus damage per second to monsters. On top of the 20. 40 damage per second to monsters plus 6% AP. Dude, what is Riot? What are they thinking, by the way? Brand and Cartoon are just going to be by the way, actually, why is there not a Cartoon Karthus skin? They can literally just call it Cartoon. Have they not realized that yet? And don't tell me Karthus isn't popular. Absolutely, he's popular. And then, oh my god, it'll even sell well in China, because in China, they can't depict skeletons, right? But if you make Cartoon, think about it. You have my email. All right, anyways, Faded Ashes. With this new component, we wanted to fill up 2 spaces. AP junglers having access to a Bami's-like item that we could use to bolster the... Oh my god! Yes! Oh my god, we used to pray for times like this. Ideally, adding this item to the game to bolster second and onwards clear for AP junglers should be accompanied by changes to AP junglers to accommodate some champions that are close but not quite there in power feel. For example, Cinder is currently 48% in the jungle, and this item puts some feel... Wow, I didn't know that. He's 48% in the jungle. That might be a jungler that I can actually pick up, right? You don't really need hands. Okay, this item... Okay, build path, amplifying tone, 500 gold, 900 gold, total call. That's amazing. Ability power 40. What? Inflame, dealing damage with abilities causes enemies to burn for 7 magic damage per 7. 21 flat! What? Item is so broken! Dude, I feel so bad. Because, like, who's getting kneecapped? Who's, like, taking, like, who is, like, you know, who's being taken out back? Who's being taken to the woodshed and put down in 1411? What champions are already, which champions already have a nail gun to their forehead? Like, because of this item. Luden's Companion, okay. No longer a charge model unique load is removed. Now has 12-second cooldown and always fires 6 shots. Great. Fire-based cooldown 45 plus 4% to 60 plus 4%. Repeat damage ratio on primary target 35 to 50%. Okay. Leandra's Torment. As a mana item option, the new epic item Faded Ashes is swapped in as a component. Wow, they made it even better to build. Oh my god. And as a unique act, Malzahar's unleashed. Man, he's so unleashed. Blackfire Torch. Rylai's. We're back. We're so back, by the way. Rylai's at 2 items. Leandri's 3rd. Crypt Bloom 4th. We're so back. We're so back. Oh my god, we're so back. We're so back. We're so back. I used to pray for times like this. And also Karthus. Karthus is so back. He gets Blackfire Torch, Keck. He gets Malignance, Keck. He gets Leandri's Torment, Keck. And then he gets Void Staff. Karthus is so back. So is Brand and like all these other champions. Verdant Barrier. 1,700 gold to 1,600 gold. Really nice. Again, don't upgrade to Banshees. Stay on Verdant Barrier. All right, fighter items. Overlord's Bloodmail. Tunneler, 1,000 gold. I hate Tunneler as an item. Total gold cost 3,300. Attack damage 40. Health 500. Gain 2% of your bonus health as attack damage. Skarner item. Gain up to 10% increase attack damage based on your percent missing health. Maximum retribution bonus well below 30%. Oh, total attack damage. Oh, wait. This will be really good on certain champions. This will be really, really, really good on certain champions like Alawi. Sion. Cho'Gath even, I guess. Cho'Gath, yeah. 2% of your bonus health as attack damage. How much AD is Cho'Gath going to get? Let's say that Cho'Gath has... Wait, let me take a look at Cho. So, let's say that... He's level 18. How much HP does he have? 22. He has 2,242. Okay. And then his ultimate is giving how much? His ultimate gives 160 HP per stack. So let's say that he has like, I don't know. Let's say that he has 18. No. Let's say he has 1920. Let's say that he has 1920 HP. Okay. So he has 1920 HP bonus just from his ult, and then he would get Overlord's Bloodmail, let's say, okay. So is it, okay, so 24, okay. Then he gets like, I don't know, what other items does he get? Let's say, I mean, Warmog's is now also giving him, what, 2080? If he got that? How high can you get his AD? I don't know. Alright, well, okay. Black Cleaver, armor reduction, 5 to 6%. Maximum armor shred, 25 to 30%. Really good for, like, Graves. Good for some Bruiser Assassins. Plated Steel Caps. I think you don't build this item anymore. I really, 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 really think this item is not going to be built. Except in matchups where it's used because you buy it early in the matchup in order to gain access to armor, basic attack reduction, and the mobility. And you're kind of using those as offensive stats. Outside of those matchups, this is not being built anymore. One of the things that, again, I started doing, and it was because Griffin actually brought my attention to it. He told me, you know, LS, well, he doesn't call me LS. Well, actually, I guess he does call me Ellis. But no, he basically was like, you know, check your post-death stats, like, all the time. And so I'm sitting there, and every single time I would die, and I'm playing off stream, and I built, you know, steel-plated boot caps, or, like, even if I didn't have them, I would click the damage recap, and I'd see how much auto-attack damage that I was taking. And I remember that there was about a 10-hour solo queue period where I played, and I jotted down all of the auto-attacks that I actually took. And this was playing Skarner in the jungle. And I was just calculating on average how much damage plated steel caps was actually reducing, or would have reduced based on, like, you know, my combat and stuff. And now losing 4% of that, losing 33% of that reduction, that's a really big deal. I don't think that this is going to be built. Boots of mobility is now gone. Symbiotic boots. Movement speed is a flat 35. Okay, the cost is 900 gold, so now it's slower. It's slower than a regular tier 2 boot. After traveling 150,000 units, upgrades to Synchronized Souls. So this is odd. This is an odd thing. So I believe the distance between Nexus to Nexus is 25,000 units. So with that being 25,000 units, you essentially have to run Nexus to Nexus 6 times in a game. Now, for the Nunu that you queued up with that didn't like that you didn't roll swap with him, that's actually not going to be a problem. You might actually see these boots on him. For the Draven that also doesn't like that you didn't gank his lane, honestly, might not be bad boots. But realistically, for other types of champions, that's a lot of distance to travel and also, like, sink so much gold into at 35. Synchronized Souls, the movement speed, they give it back to you. Your recall is empowered. Doesn't really matter, man. Gain 45 movement speed when out of combat. That's okay. Hold on. 90. It's when you're out of combat. So when Moby Boots was really broken, when Moby Boots was really broken, I want to say that it had 110 MS out of combat. I'm gonna look this up right now. I'm gonna look this up, like, coming at you live. When it was really broken, it was 115 for 800. It was 115. This is giving you 90. 90. So it's 15 MS slower. They need to buff it. I really think they need to buff it. 90 out of combat, I don't think is enough. I don't think 90 out of combat is enough. I think they need to bring it up to, like, 100? Maybe 100. 100 would maybe be okay, especially because it's, like, you would get the Moby Boots as a first item, and you'd fly around the map, gank, right? And you could fly between camps. The other thing about this is when you're clearing the jungle, you lose Moby Boots active. So I assume that you lose Synchronized Souls, which is also a problem. They need to remove this against jungle monsters, and they need to increase it, I think, to 100. I think don't buy this item. All right, here we go. Marksman items. This is going to be the big one. All right, here we go. Let's see how long it is. We got a lot to go through. We have a lot to talk about, don't we? Oh my God. All right. Here we go. Make sure that my throat's okay. Bloodthirster is once again leaving the crit system and going back to its simpler roots of being a pure AD and lifesteal stick. With it, it's also regaining its passive to overheal. This will potentially open it up to be an option for other classes to purchase it. The build path is going to change to a BF Sword, Pickaxe, Vamp Scepter, plus 325 gold. Really like the build path. Also an ode to, like, really old items, so I really like that too. Attack damage is going to go up by a flat 25. This is a beat stick. No longer grants AD above 7% health. That's totally fine. Ichor Shield converts excess healing Oh, there's no cooldown on it. Oh my God, Negan is so back. Ichor Shield, oh my God, Negan is so back. Converts excess healing from lifesteal into a shield up to 50 to 400 based on level. Crit chance 20% removed. Totally fine. really, really nice item as a utility item for those reasons. Okay, very, very nice. Obviously going to be an item on Graves. Outside of Graves, it's going to be a lifesteal utility item, and we'll talk about what that actually means when we start getting into these crit items. The Collector, and honestly, I wish that the Collector would turn its own image onto itself, okay, in-game, of course. Build path, Serrated Dirk, so this is going to change to a BF Sword, Serrated Dirk, Cloak of Agility, 300 gold. Honestly, I think that this is going to make it get built less. Total gold cost is going up by 100, AD is going up by 5, and lethality down by 1. I'm curious what the math is on this, but yeah, this item just got a lot worse. Don't build it. Okay, Essence Reaver. This one in particular is pretty big change, but we're taking away the Spellblade passive from Essence Reaver. Instead of becoming a stat stick with very clear purpose spellcasting, it should provide a near unlimited supply of mana for those spells to be cast, as well as having a competitive stat line. Okay. So, alright. It's now going up by 300. No longer contains a Spellblade. Basic attacks refund 15 plus 10% bonus AD mana on hit. Critical strike chance 20% to 25%. Ability haste up by 5. Attack damage up by 5. Items dead. Okay, cool. Immortal Shieldbow. Removing the lifesteal from Shieldbow will allow it to fit as a third, fourth item to round out crit builds and offer a defensive choice that's not sustain based. Okay. So here's the thing. Immortal Shieldbow was actually outshined by Sterix in a lot of cases, but people just never built Sterix because, you know, their primal bearing just said, I have to build the AD item. Okay. Critical strike chance is going to go up by 5. Attack damage up by 5. 12% lifesteal is removed. That sucks. That really sucks. But just because it's now 25%, probably building it as your fourth utility item for ADC. And that's the really big thing about this patch, guys, is ADCs gain access to their utility items at fourth item now, not fifth, which makes them that much more powerful in the mid to late transition. And also they hit harder as they're starting to come online. All right, so Infinity Edge is now going to go up by 100 gold in exchange for 15 AD. What? Yeah, I'll take that. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So Infinity Edge is never a first item. It's never, well, it might be actually now, unlike some champions. It might actually be a first item, potentially. Okay, so 80 AD. Okay, so here's the thing about Infinity Edge. Typically, this is a second or a third item, okay? A second or third item, think about it. You're an AD carry. Cannon minions reach their maximum gold value at 17 minutes 15 seconds in game. Okay, you get a cannon every 2 waves at 15 minutes in game timer. You get a cannon every wave at 25 minutes in game timer. Okay, and then also like minion movement speed increases at 10, 15, 20, and 25 minutes, eventually hitting minion movement speed cap at 425 ms. But at 15 minutes or so, when we're sort of talking about it, they have 375 ms. Speed is actually pretty quick. So you're asking for an extra 100 gold. Now, depending on which wave it is, you're already getting 200 gold for the wave. Even a non-cannon wave is giving you 102 gold. So you're going to just get the item. It's just one additional wave. And then because minions are actually sped up and this is a second or third item, you're realistically only looking at a 25-second delay, probably in most cases, in order to capture this item, in exchange for 15 more AD. Yeah, I'll trade 25 seconds in game for 15 more AD. Absolutely. Kircheis Shard, removed from the game. Kraken Slayer. Okay, Kraken Slayer is getting a significant change as well. It's no longer a crit item, and instead of being focused entirely on the on-hit side of things, it'll still be a strong contender as an early purchaser that won't be able to provide all of the desired stats right away. Okay. So, Noon Quiver, Cloak of Agility, Recurve Bow, 400 to Rectrix. Interesting. No! Recurve Bow, 200 gold. Total gold cost, 3,000 to 3,100. Critical strike chance removed. Movement speed up by 7%. Okay. All right, Belveth. All right, hold on. Let me... Okay. Attack damage up by 10. Oh. Okay. Attack speed 35 to 40%. This is fine. Bring it down. Every third attack deals additional physical damage on hit, increasing when hitting the same target repeatedly. Every third basic attack deals additional physical damage on hit, increasing when hitting lower health targets. Interesting. Nice change to Kraken Slayer. Okay, or an upgrade attack speed is going to go up by 10%. Ew. Lord Dominic's Regard. Lord Dominic's is losing a Giant Slayer passive, but gaining a few raw stats to compensate for it. Okay. Armor penetration up by 5%. Critical strike chance up by 5%. Attack damage up by 5. No longer deals increased damage on target's match health. Okay. So, in a lot of cases, I actually think that this is probably fine. When you run the numbers. I did ask a guy for the numbers. I do have to go and check that DM again, and look at the spreadsheet, but I think this is actually probably going to be fine. Okay. Mercurial Scimitar, Quicksilver Sash, Cloak of Agility, Pickaxe, Quicksilver Sash, Pickaxe, Vampire Sash. No, this is the I feel bad item. This item, never buy it now. Never, like, God, man, never buy it. This item is QSS. This item is the I feel bad item. Okay, you only buy this item for, guys, Riot, please make more items build out of QSS and make QSS 1,000 gold, and it will be built, and then things will get funny. Oh my God. And also bring back Stopwatch as a purchasable item for literally every single laner and put it at 650 gold. In fact, even make it a rune again and make it so that everyone starts the game with Stopwatch at 2 minutes. Oh my God, I would love League of Stopwatch to come back. I'm kidding. Mortal Reminder, critical strike chance is going to go up by 5%. Totally fine. Navari Flicker Blade, Navari Quick Blades. Okay. Gold cost going down by 600. Total critical strike chance going up by 5%. Cooldown reduction refund up by 3%. Move speed 7. Attack speed 40%. Ability haste is going to be down. Fine. Attack. Okay. 15 ability haste versus 3. No, I think the item's dead. I think the item's dead. Noon Quiver. Noon Quiver we're saving around, but its purchase is changing entirely. Instead of being a perfect laning item to transition into deferred. Oh, you mean perfect. Yeah, perfect's an understatement, man. Okay, this is literally Adam fucking Warlock, all right, of items. All right, 80 carries and fucking assassins had literally the 2 best recipe components for years until Lost Chapter was unironically fucking found and its gold cost was brought down to 1100 so that mages could fucking re-enter society, all right? It was a fucking dystopia in mid lane, all right? Noon Quiver. Oh yeah, it's a purpose being changed entirely from being a perfect my ass. Okay, it's the god item. True. It'll serve as a way to deliver 80 and crit items. Great. So, longsword dagger, longsword 300 gold, longsword cloak of agility 450 gold, total gold charge 20% critical strike chance. Wow, this item sucks. This item's dead. Oh, this item's dead. I love it. Love it. I love it. The item's dead. Oh my God. It's dead, probably like the person who was carrying it. Oh, isn't that great? God, I love finding loot in video games. Phantom Dancer. Phantom Dancer is getting a stat facelift, focusing on attack speed and movement speed. Okay. So let's take a look here. So this is now Garen's favorite item, by the way. Total gold cost going down by 200. Keck. Now that's a really big deal for champions who buy this item first, like Garen. I don't know if other champions necessarily will. Maybe Yasuo or Yone might do Phantom Dancer first. Definitely check out like Zookill and stuff, see what he ends up doing on all of that. I'm not going to dive too deep into them, but I do know that for Garen, a champion that I'm personally going to be playing, in like 8 hours from now in mid. This is now his first item. Move speed up by 2%. Very nice for high MS champions. Critical strike chance going to go up by 5%. Attack damage is removed. Attack speed up by 30%. All right, so Phantom Dancer is going to be an insane second item. Honestly, if you go IE into Phantom Dancer, dude, honestly, that might just be Caitlyn's build. That might actually be Kate's build. IE into Phantom Dancer, just like the good old days, guys. Bring it back. We're so back. We are so back. Bring it back, guys. Bring it back. Oh my Lord. And now, because this went down by 200, and I only went up by 800, and I got 15 AD. We're so back. We're just so back. We're so back. Oh my God, it's such a buff. It's such a buff to that 2-item combo. Rapid Fire Cannon. Okay, build path is going to change. Zeal Scout Slingshot. Okay. 2,600 gold. Critical strike chance is going to go up by 5%. 80 is removed. Attack speed up by 15%. Okay. 3080 being removed, getting some attack speed. The item is still going to fill its purpose for when you need it to. Okay. Runon's Hurricane. We're giving Runon's a new recipe with it dropping the on hit but gaining power on the bolts. Okay. 200 gold down, on-hit magic damage is removed. Bolt AD scaling is up by 15%. Oh, it's a buff! Oh, it's a buff! Runon's is buffed. Okay. Static Shiv. Static is trading its energized pattern for a brand new on-kill effect. It absolutely, it also no longer a crit item, but instead provides a good mix of attack damage and attack speed for champions trying to stabilize early on. It will still help with the wave clear in its own way, plus potentially really shock opponents in a favorable team play. Okay. Total gold cost is unchanged. Critical attack chance removed. Attack speed 40%. Killing non-champion. Fire chain lightning deals 9 damage, heading up to 6 additional targets. 3-second cooldown. 500 bounce range. Takedown on champions instead deal 3 times damage and has no cooldown. No bounce cap. Technically 160 if you want to know. Okay. If you kill someone, you can do 270 magic, goes through resist, doesn't do anything. This item is terrible. This item's so bad. Is it not so bad? I think the item's bad. I think the item's really bad. First impression. Stormrazor. We're parting away with Stormrazor again this split in an attempt to streamline the energized system. Great. Terminus. Okay. All right. So, honestly, by, I mean, we're starting to reach the terminus of these patch notes, and honestly, it might be terminal if you don't realize how disgusting ADCs are going to be. Okay, so Terminus is getting a new recipe this time around, as well as some small alterations in stats. Recurve BF Sword, so this has changed to Heartbound Axe, Recurve Bow, 1,000 gold, totally fine. Attack damage down by 5, attack speed up by 5, totally fine. Voltaic Cyclo Sword. Zephyr. Okay, so Berserker's Degrees plus 2,000 gold. Total gold cost 3,100. All right. So, attack speed, 45%. Move speed, 45%. Passive, gain 5% movement speed for 6 seconds, stacking up to 15%. I assume that this is when in combat. So, you can get up to 15% attack speed while in... Dude. Caitlyn, Jinx, Aphelios, Jhin even? Maybe Jhin? This is actually crazy. This is legitimately crazy. All right. Heartbound Axe. With Heartbound Axe, we wanted to position a better epic in some recipes as well as index out just pure attack speed. This should give it a broader appeal now with less attack and speed and more attack damage. Okay. Yeah, this item sucks. Dude, like, this item feels so bad to buy. Damage type, magical to physical, nice buff. Scout Slingshot. Okay. Scout Slingshot, dagger plus 600 gold. Total gold cost 900 gold. You get 20% attack speed. Damaging a champion deals an additional 40 magic damage. Attacks reduce this cooldown by 1 second. Doesn't it say what the cooldown actually is? It seems like it's kind of a bad item, but you're going to have to buy it anyway, so it's kind of just going to ending up like the nerf Hextech alternator, whatever. Zeal critical strike chance is going up by 5%. Very nice. Really nice buff to Zeal. Dagger attack speed going down by 2%. Feels a little bit bad. Not the end of the world, though, because all of its completions are good. Wow, we got through the AD items. Interesting. Okay. So, Ghost. 210 to 240. Duration 15 to 10 seconds. This summoner is dead. So it feels really bad that this is now leaving and they're lining it up, pretty much with like other fates. Is pretty much the only way that we can really talk about it. This item, this just got absolutely headshot. It's still going to be picked in really specific lanes where Ghost just does have value. 30 seconds being slapped onto it does kind of hurt. Remember, you do have like some ways to reduce this cooldown and whatnot. It is painful. Okay. Cleanse. Also going up. Tenacity, 65% for 3 seconds, 75% for 3 seconds. Very underused value, thing is this, but it's okay. Cooldown going up also kind of sucks. Exhaust, the slow percent going up by 10%. Honestly, that's really big. So as a kill spell that you're taking with Flash or you're taking with Ignite or like something like that, as a kill spell, this is buffed. This is 100% buffed. Exhaust is buffed. Ghost and Cleanse are definitely nerfed. Barrier. 2 seconds to 2.5 seconds. That's fine. Shield going up marginally. Really rare that the whole shield actually gets chewed through. I would say it's a very marginal buff, but we'll take it. Heal, 826 to Champion Edge, 900 to Champion Center. This is a small tweak to make the spell a touch easier to use when aiding teammates. Very nice. Honestly, very, very nice. So it just gets, okay, that's fine. Domination Rune Tree. Predator has been removed. Let me check. Okay, yeah, he's still banned on Twitch. Okay, yeah, so I don't know. There is probably some certain league streamers that you're gonna want to check, maybe check if they've actually been banned and see if it's actually accurate here. But yeah, Hail of Blades, attack speed 110% to 80% range champions, 110% melee. Oh, Shen's still alive, guys. Shen is still alive. Obviously, a really big nerf to the range champions. Does not matter that much. We're just going to end up altering which trees they take. Okay. Ingenious Hunter has been removed. We've already accounted for that and a lot of the stuff that we've been talking about. Ingenious Hunter was a really fake rune. I tweeted about this. A lot of people think, oh, I have these big active cooldowns. I have Zhonya's. I have Redemption. I have all this other type of stuff. Let me take Ingenious Hunter. Dude, team fights operate around a 90 to 120 second cycle. Okay. You also don't have any stacks early game, so even the early initial casts of the item weren't doing anything. You don't take Ingenious Hunter for those items. Let me tell you what items that you did take Ingenious Hunter for. You took it for the items that had 10 or less seconds on their active. You took it for old Ludens, right? Ludens Echo or whatever it was called. You took it for Sundered Sky. You took it for Eclipse. You take it for these items that have really, really low cooldowns so that you can make the cooldown go from 10 seconds to 7 seconds, because that way you can cycle it multiple times in a fight. And that way you get insane value out of it because of how good its uptime is. You never were taking Ingenious Hunter for items that had actives that were 60 plus seconds unless you were absolutely stupid and have never played a card game at a high level in your life. Sudden Impact. Sub-goal of these rune changes were to remove lethality and magic penetration from the rune system. I also just want to shout out and point out that I think this is the first patch rundown ever where you have been able to watch the sun come up in the background throughout the duration of the video. So that is pretty cool. Okay, so this should keep the rune in a fairly similar place in both input and output. Dealing damage to an enemy champion with 4 seconds of using a dash or blink or exiting stealth grants 9 lethality and magic penetration for the next 5 seconds. 4-second cooldown to dealing basic attacks and ability damage. Deal 20 to 80 based on level bonus true damage to an enemy champion within 4 seconds of using a dash or blink or exiting stealth. 10-second cooldown. Love it. Okay, so now Shen is going to take this. Okay. Shen is going to take this. Relentless Hunter, 5 plus 8 per stack to 0 plus 8 per stack. Oh, Papa Pain. A little painful. Still going to be taking it for that 40 MS and solo queue if you are a jungler. Do not take Ultimate Hunter. Okay, Precision Rune Tree. Lethal Tempo has been removed. Very sad. Press the attack. All right. Hitting an enemy champion with 3 consecutive basic attacks deals 40 to 80, 100 bonus adaptive damage based on level, rendering the target exposed for 6 seconds, causing them to take 8% increased damage from all sources for the duration. 2, hitting an enemy champion with 3 consecutive basic attacks deals 40 to 180 based on level bonus adaptive damage and amplifies your damage that you deal by 8% until you leave combat. So, as long as you keep that PTA up, then you are, then, if the fight's really extended, what this will end up doing is some bruisers now are going to take PTA because they're going to stay on you and they are going to just hit you. So like Aurelia, Darius, these types of champions, they might actually opt into this in certain matchups over Conqueror. Okay, Overheal. Overheal has been removed. Absorb Life. This new rune is aimed to give Precision Tree users a new way to heal back up between skirmishes. Love it. Killing a target restores 2 to 17 health. Very nice. And so 2 to 17 health, obviously, per level. So first wave will give you 12 HP back if you manage to CS all of it. And then once you level up, and then it'll give 18. So that's obviously very nice. And then cannon waves, depending on when you end up getting them, they'll give you different values. Sometimes cannon waves are always going to give you like 21, and then it'll just keep upticking and stuff. Going to be a very good rune. It's going to be near impossible, I think, to move certain champions like Yasuo, Yone, Akali, these types of champions. Legend Tenacity has been removed. Legend Haste. Gain 1.5 per Legend stack bonus basic ability haste up to 15 maximum stacks. Really good for users of the Precision Tree that want to utilize ability haste. Now! No. Okay, yeah. Shen still does not want to go into this tree. Okay. Cut down. Deal 5 to 15% basic increase except true damage to champions based on how much more maximum health they have than you. Okay. Deal 8% increased damage except true damage to champions above 6% max health. Very good. Fleet Footwork. The heal 10 to 130 to 8 to 110. Movement speed duration is going to be altered by 0.25. Okay. Font of Life's input and output pattern was something we were unsatisfied with. So the old one, slowing or mobilizing an enemy champion marks them for 4 seconds. Allied champions, excluding you, that use a basic attack against marked targets are healed for 5 plus 0.9% of your maximum health over 1.2 or 75 seconds. Slowing or immobilizing an enemy champion heals you and a nearby ally with the least health for 10 to 50 health, 70% for ranged users on a 20-second cooldown. So this isn't repeatable, which does just mean that this is kind of a nerfed thing. What they've done with Font of Life here is they've turned this into a laning rune. They've turned this into a rune that you take in order to be a lane bully with your duo in bot lane. So this is like for like Nautilus, you know, Maokai, these types of champions. They do a combo, go on to cooldown for their, you know, their 12-second, 14-second abilities, and they back up, and that's what it is. So this is turned into a laning rune. Inspirational Rune Tree. Row 1, Hextech, Flash Traption, Magical Footwear, Cashback, Cashback's bad. Triple Tonic, Time Warp Tonic, Biscuit Delivery. So now Triple Tonic is in row 2. That's very nice. Time Warp Tonic, okay. And then Biscuit Delivery, whatever. Cosmic Insight, Approach Velocity, Jack of all trades. So Cosmic Insight can be the winner there. Futures Market, one of the greatest runes in the history ever. It also enables some gameplay patterns we were generally unhappy with if they were too good. Oh, trust me. They were always too good, and people just misunderstood this rune. This was probably the best rune that League of Legends has ever had. And it was grossly misunderstood, and people who have never taken classes in probability or, you know, economics and like all these types of things, or never, you know, played card games, anything like that, just never understood the rune. Cashback. Who doesn't love getting a little money back on their big purchases? Either get closer to your next big spike quicker or pick up some control. Okay, so for reference, you know, for reference here, okay? Let's say that you buy most legendary items in League, right? Let's say that you buy most legendary items in League. All that's going to end up happening is you're going to end up getting, you know, you're going to end up getting back 180 gold per legendary item that you pick up, right? If you know, 3,000 or something like that. And now if you have like more obscure items, you know, you'll get a little bit more gold than that, but ultimately it's going to end up wobbling between 1 or 2 CS. The reality is that you're going to have to pick up like 4 legendary items that are all very expensive, which means that this item is catered towards champions that have more expensive items. And then you can end up cheating like 800 gold or something. Now, is there a champion that can actually utilize this as a rune? Well, Draven actually could. So like when you combine this with Draven and his passive, if he's actually killing you, he's getting his cash-ins and he's getting cash back, Draven's ramping like really fast. And, you know, before you know it, and he buys 3,000, you know, gold items and he gets 800 gold for free back on top, that's a really big deal. The other fact about it being 200 gold or something on like a return probably means that you get to pick up a recipe component or at worst a moat. So there's that. Mini Dematerializer, also really bad. Rune, sometimes it did have really specific niches. Jack of all trades, okay. For each unique stat on items that you've purchased, gain a stacking bonus. Get 1 ability haste per stack. At 5 stacks, 10 adaptive force. At 10 stacks, get 25 adaptive force. So you can get up to 25 ability power, which is, honestly, it's not super bad, but honestly, it's not super great. So what you would end up getting is you would get 25 ability haste, and you would get, well, actually, 25 ability haste and 25 AP. 25 ability haste, 25 AP. Wow. 25 ability haste, 25 AP. Honestly, actually, maybe that's not bad. Maybe that's not bad. We're going to have to run some things. Upfront healing, 30 to 40%. Rune sucks. First strike. Gold gain, 5 plus 8% damage dealt to 15 plus 4% damage dealt. Totally fine, because mostly what you actually took this rune for was you took it in lanes where Airy and Comet weren't going to necessarily outright win you the game, but you would take it for the additional damage that it would end up scaling to later in addition to the gold. And so in that regard, it's good. ARAM balance changes, we're skipping it. Arena system changes, skipping it. I don't do that. Okay. And now let's get into the skins. So, guys, that is it. Now, I will be releasing a separate video on my channel where I talk about 1410 patch, predictions for it, which champions I think are going to be insane that you didn't already hear me talk about. Now, that'll be on my main League of Legends YouTube channel. Let's get into the skins. What the hell is that? That is Lux. Doesn't even look like Lux. Honestly, though, she has feet. I wonder what they smell like. What is this? Soraka? Honestly, kind of pretty. Kind of a pretty skin. Also kind of looks like a Black Lotus in the background. What do we got? We got... Who the hell's that? My lord! Lilia! Yes, what? Okay, and then what? Then we have Tristana, and then Kog'Maw, Fairy Court Kog'Maw. I mean, honestly, if you had to marry this guy, you're probably feeling really bad. Unless you're trying to marry into him for money, because honestly, it looks like he's dawned and like, like, if you want to marry into it, I mean, be your guest. But that is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed the patch note rundown, and in 13 hours, 12 hours, 49 minutes, actually, to be exact, T1 versus Team Liquid is going to be taking place, and I will see you guys for the co-stream and all that other good jazz. That is it for the patch note. This one took an hour and 5 minutes. I do not remember when we had such a nice patch. Honestly, Pepperidge Farm might remember, and honestly, I feel like that woman from the Titanic, that image, that meme image, people will know what I'm talking about. But all right, guys, that is it. I will see you all later.